Big deal, Neil. Back with the panel. Again, a reminder, Papa Bear will be back on Thursday, and I'll give him back his sweater. We're talking about Eugene Melnyk again, because when the Sens owner talks, he usually says something interesting, such as today when he said that more Canadian cities could support an NHL team. And for his example, he didn't cite Southern Ontario. He cited the home of Neil Young and the Guess Who, Winnipeg, Manitizzle. If an owner in a medium-sized Canadian market thinks another medium-sized Canadian market can support a team, isn't this an automatic carry?
It's Manitoba. Winnipeg, Manitoba. Absolutely. They got a great building, MTS Center. It's fantastic. Holds about 15,000. Could be expanded. They've got knowledgeable hockey fans. They've got great sponsorship ready to go. There's no question they cannot do any worse than we're doing in Atlanta, Nashville, name some of the Florida teams. Well, Winnipeg is ready for a team.
It sounds great in theory, but why did they lose the Jets in the first place?
Because the American dollar is so high. Now that we can actually buy American dollars and get more for it.
So how long is that going to last, though?
Well, look at the new CBA, though. The new CBA was designed and has obviously helped teams like the Oilers and Flames that were possibly on the move before the new CBA with the salary cap and a restriction on salaries. Do you not think that would help the Jets now?
Well, certainly it would, but what else is the new arena expansion? Is that a factor?
It would have to be expanded, right? You're right about that.
But it's ready. My understanding is it's ready to go. They clearly build this thing with an eye toward having a team come back.
I would say last year they got first class boxes. They are luxury boxes are super. They're ready to go.
Do you know what they do with the way those fans are there? We played them in a couple of series when I was Vancouver to win it. They love their team and they supported it well. So you'd like to see with the new CBA that they will one day get a team back.
I covered hockey, junior hockey in Manitoba for a year. I can tell you the fans there are so passionate about it. Absolutely.
They're driving. Well, so are the fans in Welland, Ontario, but they're not going to bring an NHL team.
Speaking of which, actually, that takes us back to the Southern Ontario argument, the most heavily populated part of this country. When will the Maple Leafs realize that another team in the Golden Horseshoe, maybe two teams, maybe even a second team in the ACC, would actually be good for the league, Ed?
I think it'd be great. How many fans are in Atlanta again? Right now, Jersey, brand new arena. They're starving in New Jersey. Nashville's in trouble. Bring some teams to Hockey Town where people will go out and watch and play.
That's a key point. You got to watch. The one thing this league, I don't care where they go, they do not need expansion. They need a team to move into Winnipeg, not add another team. We're right now 5 or 6 teams too many at the very minimum.
I think if the NHL was more committed to bringing teams to Canada, Canada would have more teams. Is it because the Buffalo Sabres and the Toronto Maple Leafs are stopping them? I don't think so.
There needs
to be more pressure. There needs to be more pressure to bring the NHL. I don't understand how two teams could block out the rest of the 28 teams as far as putting pressure on getting NHL teams in cities that are going to support them.
Explain to me why New York has 3 teams just in the immediate area.
Well, that's just the question.
They can support them.
You're telling me you can't support them here?
Ed, you're saying they can't support them?
My point is they can support them, but who's blocking it?
You just said it. You just said Buffalo Sabres, Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, so
they're blocking it.
If those two teams are blocking it, how can the NHL and the other 28 teams not put enough pressure on those two teams to bring a team to Southern Ontario? Because it could work.
But really, there's no doubt it possibly could work, but there's rules in place that stop them from moving there. So it's really up to the Toronto. Yeah, but the Toronto Maple, right now the rules are there. And really, you don't want someone moving in next door to you in your same industry.
But we all know that there's a market that's available. Winnipeg is a true, proven market. The Jets, unfortunately, do that time with the American dollar and all the pressures that were going on. There wasn't a CBA. Now there is one. Now that is a city that we all know is viable, and Canadians need to have Canadian hockey. We need it back in our country. You can't let it be in all the Sunside states, because look at what's going on with the game.
If you're a Leaf fan, the greatest thing that could happen to you is another team lands in Southern Ontario to make the Leafs look really bad right there. You know what I mean? That's going to motivate them to get better.
Maybe, Ryan, having another team in the Southern Ontario area would possibly make the Leafs be a bit more competitive.
Do we really think Gary Bettman wants to bring teams to Canada?
Well, I think sooner or later he has to accept the reality of it, though. I mean, you can't keep turning a blind eye to the fact that this is where the passion for it is.
He's been turning a blind eye for a while to it.
But Tom, what great advertising we have right now with the Nashville situation, back and forth, owners, nobody knows what's going on. Yeah. We know there's trouble in Atlanta. There's trouble in about 5 or 6 major cities down in the States, and nobody's looking at that. Why don't we put a positive spin and bring it to a city that wants it first, They want it. We know it. If you put tickets up for sale tomorrow in Winnipeg, you got 17,000 people buying tickets, no question. I was there when the little kids were going down the street with the little piggybacks back in the trying to save the Jets. I can guarantee you put a team in Winnipeg, and it's certainly going to help the National Hockey League.
All right, guys.